How did you trick your entire high school? On my last day of high school, I pretended I was a substitute teacher and taught a class. For whatever reason, I decided that on my last day of high school, I was going to go out in style, so I wore a suit and tie to school. When I arrived, I got a few glances and grins, and then one of my friends asked if I was dressed as one of our teachers, one who was known for overdressing often. As he asked me this, it sparked an idea. If he thought I was trying to impersonate a teacher, I wonder if lower classmen would think the same. I wondered if I could pretend to be one. The wheels started turning. I looked the part, and I had enough confidence to pull it off, and if I walked into a class that was all freshmen, there was a high probability that I wouldn't be recognized as a senior, because our social circles didn't overlap much. So as the morning bell rang, I was decided. The only thing that was missing was a class with no teacher. As I was walking to my first class, I peered in every class, looking for one with students, but to which the teacher was running late. I wouldn't be able to teach the whole period, obviously, but I could run out the game as long as the teacher was late. But time was of the essence. If I couldn't find a classroom quickly, I wouldn't get any teaching time, as the teacher would walk in right after me. And if I made it to my first class before I found a teacherless classroom, I'd have to go in and sit down, thus missing my opportunity. 2 rooms before my class, I found it. A class with 25 students seated quietly and no teacher in sight. I looked up and down the halls and saw no sign of an educator coming, so I burst through the door and started talking. If everyone would please take their seats, I'd like to go ahead and take roll. There was silence. I glanced around and saw the teacher's nameplate on her desk. Mrs. T isn't feeling well today, so I'll be subbing for her. I understand you guys were told what you have to work on, but before we begin, I'd like to take roll, so if someone could please show me where the class roster is. Out of nowhere, a student says, "Aren't you a student here?" Someone recognized me, but it didn't matter. If I played it confidently enough, he would get the idea, stop talking, and the rest of the class would be satisfied with my explanation. So I stopped, took a moment to act offended and frustrated, and continued. "Yeah, I get that a lot. I know I look young, but no, I am not a student, and I would appreciate it if you raise your hand to speak." They were satisfied, and shot the student angry glances for asking such a seemingly offensive question. I continued. "I understand you all have some projects you're finishing or that need to be turned in today, so I'll go ahead and let you work on those presently. If one of you could please let me know the name of the project so I can track, for Mrs.